All right, when I finished the last one, I had a problem. I was trying to get rid of the margin, and I saved it, and then I went over here, and I could see that those gray lines were showing back up, and I didn't know what was going on. Well, it would help if I read, and you probably were screaming at the video, it's not margin, it's padding in line start. That's 40 pixels. So we need to go back in here, and I mean, okay, and my styles. So this is not margin 0. This is padding 0. Now when we do file, save all, and then refresh, you can see that everything moves over, and it's a little bit too flush, obviously. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and put some padding on that article. Everything else looks pretty good. So on my article itself, so section article, we have height, width, vertical line. Now let's go ahead and add some padding to put some padding back where we just took it away, but inside my box. So I don't want any padding on top of the box. I already have, so I'm going to put 0 up and down, and then let's just do 10 pixels left and right. Let's do one more thing. If you remember from a problem we had with the other one, let's do box sizing, border box, file, save all, and then refresh. Nice. Okay, so now I'm fairly happy with that. One of the things that people talk about in development is uh, trying to get to where you finish. So you can sit there and pick at this thing forever. The next thing I want to do is I want to add this line on the bottom, and that's going to be my H1. So let's go in there and add that red line. So this is section article. Above section article, we have, oh, no, within section article. So section article, let's put that right here. I try to put it in the same order as my HTML. So section article H2, and let's do border, but instead of doing the generic border, I'm just going to do border and then bottom and tab, tab, border bottom, and then let's just do a 1 pixel solid, and we want it to be red. Actually, we could have done the same thing we had up here, right? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to copy this, Control C, and then come down here and Control V. One of the things that does is that since it worked up here, I know it's going to work down here. I don't have any syntax issues. So let's do File and Save All, and then refresh. Can't see anything. Here we go. There we go. Now you can see that we have that. We're going to have that line is not going to spread. So let's do this. If we want that line to go all the way across, let's see on my picture, as it does there, you can see that I left that padding over here. Let's do this. Let's go back here, and I'm going to go ahead and inside my article. So my article 10 pixels. I want to get rid of that padding. Okay, then I'm going to do File, Save All, and then refresh. That will get my There we go. Now my line is looking better, but my left side here is not working right. So let's go back in, and now I'm going to do here. Now I took the margin off for my ULs, so I can go ahead and put it back on for my list items. And let's do padding, and let's do 0 up and down and 10 pixels left and right. Let's see how that looks. File, save all, and then refresh. Oh, that looks much better. Much better. Now the other issue I have is, now this isn't, so if I make this bigger, you can see that those are all stuck in the middle there. So let's see, let's go ahead and move them apart. Let's see how they looked here. Oh, that's not the picture. There's the picture. And what I can do is just add some margin onto my article to move them apart. So let's do margin, and let's do 0 up and down and 5 pixels left and right. Now when I do 5 pixels left and right, it's going to do a 5 pixel left, but it also has, remember on the first one, it has already 10 pixels of padding. And then on the right side, it's going to have 5 pixels from one article on the right and 5 pixels from the left on the other one. So that'll be a 10 pixel one. So I think it should look pretty good. So let's do file and save all, and then refresh. Let's see how this looks. That looks pretty good. You can see that it's centered, and that's why we have so much extra over here. And then where we'll have some problems is that once this gets really small, it's going to start wrapping. And you can see everything starts to wrap. But we're going to fix that later. For now, this looks pretty good. Let me go ahead and get rid of the inspector. And you can see that, this is centered on the page. We have a lot of extra room on the bottom. We could have actually probably separated these with a little bit more margin for now, so that they separate a little bit more on the page. But let's go ahead and go back. Let's go ahead and make this 10 pixels. That's going to put a 20 pixels in between. File, save all, and then refresh. All right, it looks a little bit better. Not wasting so much space. And you can see we're going to have some problems once we get down to here. Things are going to do that. All right, so what's the next thing we need to do? We need to add our footer on there. So we have a footer that is going to be a picture, a video, I mean, down here, Easter history video. So let's go ahead and add that with our HTML. All right, so the section is done. Let me move down. Whoops. Okay, so let's go to our HTML. So I think, where's that rest of my stuff? Go down. All right, so our article and then our section. Actually, I should have copied this and pasted it here. And then put number 3 here. Like I said, this is not a lot. It's only 80 lines of HTML, but you can imagine if we had 500 lines and we had a bunch of articles, trying to keep track of which closed article went to which one is hard. So we get a double bang for the buck, because if I know this is the end of Article 2, then I know this is the beginning of Article 3. But down here at the end is where we get the big bang for the buck. All right, so that's the end of our section. The next thing we're going to have is a footer. Whoops. Try that again. Tab. Okay, inside of the footer, I have a H2. and that's going to be Easter history video. All right. And then the next thing I have is that video. And that video I have in the Easter content. I already found that video. Let me move this over. And this is it right here. Let's just hope it's still there. Control C. And now I need to go into the browser. Control V. No, it's DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo should be where you're searching, not Google. It actually uses Google as the search engine. So you're getting the same search return, except Google doesn't know what you're doing because it's being passed through DuckDuckGo. So if the government comes and tries to get your what you're browsing or what you're searching for, it can't from Google. Yeah, I guess it can from DuckDuckGo though. All right, so it's still there. Yay. All right, so it's all right. Well, I guess I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, I'm gonna skip the ads. All right, so this is the video that we're gonna do. And what I need to do is move on down and then go to share and click on that. And you can see I have all these different things I can use, but I'm going to use embed. And it's going to give me this iframe. Okay, let me copy that. And now I can go back to my celebrating Easter, come in here, go into my HTML, and then add an iframe. All right, let's see if that all worked. We'll do File, Save All, go back to celebrating Easter and refresh. Okay, so there is my celebrating Easter, and there is my video. All right, well, that's it. Wow, we did a great job. But we are not done because, oh, wait a second, what's this purple thing here? All right, that purple thing looks like it's either the footer of section or we're going to have an issue with that. All right, let's go ahead and I see a problem already. Okay, so in our CSS, let's go ahead and do footer. Whoops. And let's do border top. So border top. And let's do a 10 pixel solid. And then we need purple. Can we use purple for something already? Huh. I think this is purple right here. So let's go ahead here first before we do anything and do purple. And then we will comment it out by Control/, and then I'll copy this. And then come down here and add that to my, so solid, and then I think it's purple. We shall see in a second. That's why you want to comment it. I can't remember what we put it on as up there. So we'll check that in a second. File,